Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tapping in. This is the next moves. We are the crypto casuals. I am Stubby.
And I am Kelly.
And today we're going to be talking about another 2K play. This time we're going to apply it to HBAR. So let's get right into it.
To reiterate what he said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about HBAR. Start off, HBAR is not a blockchain. I repeat, HBAR is not a blockchain. And what makes HBAR not a blockchain is the way it operates is by hash graph. And that's how it validates nodes. So let's say you have 10 nodes and node 1 wants to send a message to all nodes. So the way that happens is by random, node 1 would send a message to one other node. Let's say it would be node 4. And then node 4 would send its message to another random node, and then it would just keep going until they all get it. But coincidentally, that actually makes the algorithm speed up the process. Or HBAR boasts one of the best settlement transaction times. That whole thing, if I didn't say it already, is called Hashgraph, which they also have a patent on. HBAR is the only public ledger that uses the Hashgraph technology. HBAR uses the gossip after gossip protocol, which makes them still trustless. And what that does is it stores a copy of the ledger on every node, just like a blockchain.
HBAR also claims over 10,000 transactions per second, which is one of the fastest transaction per second speeds in the industry.
Also, under HBAR, personal information can be stored in a private way on the Hedera network. And the user, it gives the users the options to select who can view their information, and also it lets you monetize your information. So if you wanted, like these companies like cookies, they ask you to track your website data and history and all of that stuff, you could block it. Or if you wanted to show them, you could sell it to them instead of them just basically taking it forcefully. It gives you back more power over your data. And for the first time ever, monetization. Never before have you been able to take your Google searches and your YouTube searches and all of that and monetize it. No, your phone companies have been selling it to bigger companies, and they've monetized it by figuring out better ways to sell you stuff and what they should sell you and show you, and basically build a seller's profile on you, but for free, without your knowledge. But now you can take back the power for that. All right, so now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about governance. And governance is actually a very interesting part of how HBAR works, because HBAR is ran by 39 companies, and a lot of these companies are actual powerhouses. There are some names in there like Google, IBM, T-Mobile, Boeing is another one. And the way it works is that each company has a 2.6% influence on decision-making, and it's split equally between all companies. It's really 2.56, but if you round it up, it's 2.6. Also, each company has a 3-year term limit and a 2-term limit. So they can serve 3 years max for 2 terms max, but those 2 terms have to be served consecutively. And they also have 5 subcommittees. They have membership, 1, marketing, 2, legal/regulatory, 3, coin economics, 4, and technical steering and product treasury management is 5. Also, the members of the council who vote on everything, they don't get paid to be on the council. They only make money through node validation, which is similar to most other cryptocurrencies. Next is another very unique feature about HBAR, which I think is actually very important for the crypto economy as a whole. And I think this could bring everything we need to crypto. Like, it could bring a lot of interest. It's going to bring safety, which is the biggest concern. So the way HBAR proposed to solve the safety problem is decentralized recovery. So basically what they want to do is you have your key and your phrase, which let's say is 24 words, and you would have maybe 4 helpers for this example, and that it will split your key up equally and send it to your 4 helpers. in that if you lost your key or you were trying to get it back, you would just getting in touch with 50% of your helpers would allow you to recover your account and everything that you lost. Dr. Lehman Barge stated that it was a problem with having helpers and them potentially being able to steal your money or whatever you have in your account because they have your key. So what he proposed is basically building a wall or just having it all done automatically and not through actual confirmation from your helper. So they wouldn't even be knowing that they would be helping you in the moment. And last but not least, risk and concerns. There are a few risks and concerns about HBAR. One of the biggest being, is it truly decentralized or not? And I don't have the final say on that. It's still an ongoing topic till this day. Also, another concern is that HBAR is new. For example, hash graphs is a very new thing. They just got the patent on that. So we don't know how that's going to play 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And also, since it's a lower price coin, it's very volatile, but so is the whole crypto market.
So understanding the tokenomics of HBAR, they have 50 billion tokens in supply. That's their maximum supply. So at this point in time, with HBAR trading at the time of recording around 8 cents, if you were to put $2,000 in, because this is another 2K play, if you were to put $2,000 into HBAR at the time of recording, you would get 22,727 HBAR. Now, based on our technical analysis, we do foresee HBAR, because of its enterprise solutions use case and the foresight of institutional money flowing into HBAR's market cap, we do foresee HBAR hitting $1.50 by 2024 or sometime during 2024. So what that would do is that would take your $2,000 investment and it would turn it into $34,290. So you'd be looking at about $32,000 profit with that kind of turnaround. Now, looking out into 2026, which we could see as potentially the next peak of the next bull run, especially with that being about 12 to 18 months after the next Bitcoin halving, we could see HBAR at price points as high as $5 per coin. So what that would do if you were to put $2,000 in now is it would take your 22,000 HBAR and it would value it at $113,000. So then at that point, you'd be looking at a $110,000 profit or $110,000 return on your investment. Now, lastly, looking out, much further into the future, same as with what we did with Bitcoin, same as with what we did with our Cardano predictions, 2030, we could realistically see HBAR with a $1 trillion market cap. That's not even the same, market cap as Apple. So this is a very realistic number, especially with the major companies that they partnered with. Again, like we mentioned earlier, Boeing, Dell, T-Mobile. So ultimately, HBAR could be at a $1 trillion market cap. That would put each coin at $20 per coin. So per se, if you were to take your $2,000 now and invest it into HBAR, getting 22,727 HBAR, and then in 2030, with HBAR being $20 per coin, that would take your $2,000 investment and it would turn it into $454,000. So you'd be looking at over $450,000 in profit.
Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, that's just in 7 years.
One unique factor that HBAR utilizes is what's called ABFT technology. So that is actually an acronym for asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance. What that means is one validator on the network can't soil the network because of ill intentions, if you will. Like, for example, if you were to take Solana's blockchain, they've shut down numerous times in the past because they do not have an asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance. So they have what's considered a leader position, if you will. So as nodes or transactions or blocks are validated on these nodes, there's a leader out of the validators that's randomly selected to validate that block. Now, if someone with ill intention, like a sophisticated hacker, were to specifically time the individual computer or the individual node that was validating the block at that specific moment on a blockchain like Solana and shut that computer down, it would actually cause the entire blockchain to shut down. And that is actually how we've seen Solana shut down numerous times in the past, because all it requires is for one computer to go down at the right time for the blockchain to fall off. So with the asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance, it makes things like that impossible to actually happen. Just an additional benefit or an additional layer of security that HBAR has. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not financial advice, purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. Do your own research.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to tune in with us on the next installment of The Next Move. Peace.
Peace.